All right, here we are, everybody, ready and excited and moving stuff out the way. There we go. Ha! All right. Whew! It's time to play Animal Crossing. I'm excited. So for everybody who is in the U.S. at least, I hope that you had a good 3-day holiday weekend. I know for me personally, I did not have a weekend really because I had to work. So, whatever. But I did get to play some of my new games and stuff, so that was fun. And I did get some new stuff, so that was very exciting. So I'm here in Animal Crossing. I've got my new Hizzle that I'll show you guys in just a little bit. I've got some very exciting updates and changes that I made to my island. And look, it's Mathewin. Hey, Mathewin. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you as always. So one thing I'm kind of sad about is I'm waiting for all of the trees to turn brown, because it is like fall, right? Technically, in the game. So I don't understand why not. Mathewin's been here for a long time. This is true, Mathewin, you have been. But thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, basically for Labor Day I got more labor. That's about the size of it. Or rather continued labor. I was already laboring and it just kept going. Ugh. So I'm thinking that I might take like a half day on Wednesday or so, just to relax, because we have a big due date tomorrow. That's why I was working so hard all weekend. So we'll see how it goes. I might do that just so that I can get some actual relaxation, or hope to get some. And I'm excited because I'm going to get into some new and different projects, which is going to be awesome. So, yeah. Trees change gradually, what the fudge? Flex on managers by taking May Day off? Oh, okay, so it just takes a while to do stuff. And look, it's Tiny! Hey, Tiny. Glad to have you. Welcome, welcome. Zucker, what you doing, boy? Nice. Orange umbrella. For those of you who are smart and astute observers, you may notice I have two separate drinks today. I have one that's over here in my regular invisibility glass, so that you can see all of the fanciness of the houses and everything because it's green. And I now have this awesome little bitty glass too. It's very fancy. I feel super fancy drinking from it. And Matter's here. And sub, thank you so much. Always great to have you. I was thinking about you the other day, Matter. The relatively little free time that I had this past weekend, I spent on my Switch playing Breath of the Wild. I broke my rule, which is that I really don't like buying games twice. I don't enjoy doing it. I think it's stupid. But I went ahead and I did it, and I got all of the DLC and everything. But I was thinking about you, Matter, because of Smash Bros. And I was debating about playing it, and then I was like, I can't be playing Smash Bros. Because I suck. It just doesn't work. Ooh, hot dog thing. Yum! Yeah, I am just so bad at it. I cannot deal. But the important thing is that I can admit the problem, right? Oh, so in the fancy cup, I've got lemonade. So I made super fancy, like a super fancy style lemonade. That's actually really, really good. And yeah, so that's the other thing that I'm drinking here. And I'm also reading messages from my boss on my work laptop, which is over here. I think I had actually shared my work laptop earlier. I showed you guys what it is. It's a System 76. It runs Linux. Specifically, it runs Pop OS. And I absolutely love it. I am a freaking fanboy for this thing. Like, no joke. I have never been a Unix or a Linux person whatsoever. But when I got this computer, I was like, oh my god, this thing is amazing. And I have loved it ever since. So here, let's take a look at my house real quick. So this is what I've done to my house. I basically tried to do like a castle motif, essentially, using silos as like little pillars, effectively, or towers around a castle sort of shtick. I think it looks pretty cool. I kind of like it. And I've got this nice little plaza with the Zen stone in it. I'm trying to get the head of this thing. It's the Megalo something or other. I don't remember exactly what. Just because fossils are cool and I want to have fossils in the middle of my fancy little home plaza. And then I have this little land bridge that I built, surrounded by water, and it leads directly into my gardens. So these are the gardens where I have all of my various flowers that I don't... It's not that I don't care about them, but it's that they're simply here for decor. They're not here for specific breeding patterns or anything like that. It's just, I've got a red whatever, I slap it in there type of thing. But yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, Matter... I remember you did the one weird rule thing where like every button is attack and you have no jump or something along those lines, and I still barely won. It's just people wonder why I never played fighting games, and that is why. So bad. Although I will say I caved a little bit today. Humble Bundle is having a great end of summer sale right now with a bunch of different games, a ton of different publishers. And so I picked up a decent number of games that I've been looking at for a while, honestly. So you can see different colors on some of these trees, incidentally. Oh, that's tasty. This batch of lemonade is really, really good. The recipe that I found, or rather that Revenant found, said that you use a cup and a quarter of sugar for a single pitcher. So like, what is it? Basically, like a quart and a half, maybe 2 quarts. That thing was punishingly sweet. It was so bad. So I made a second batch where I reduced the sugar by a lot. And it is amazeballs. And it works really well as a mixer. Not that I'd know. I mean, what? But either way, fun times. What's up, Blue Bear? So yeah, I did get to play Breath of the Wild a whole bunch, and honestly, is it possible to feel nostalgic for something that happened less than a year ago? I guess it is, especially with COVID at this point. But like I legitimately felt nostalgic for that game as soon as I booted it up on Switch and started playing around and moving around. I was like, oh my god, this game, it's just so incredible. I really do love that game. It's absolutely amazing. What's up, Admiral? What do you mean you thought of me when you found a bathroom sink in your attic, dude? What does that even mean? Did I adult the lemonade up? I did. Slightly, yes. Here, we gotta do squats now. Oh, okay. Hang on. I gotta respond to my boss really quick. Updated version with the new number. He thinks I'm a bathroom sink. That doesn't even make sense. Incidentally, I'm wearing Stewie pants for anybody who's curious. Hooah! There we go. Alright. What was I gonna mention? I don't remember. Oh, I was gonna ask, does anybody have fun plans for the week at all? I know it's a short week, which is kind of nice. Aw, man. I didn't realize that it couldn't jump far enough. Serious. I do not. That is not true, Rev. I changed into my fancy Pharaoh outfit. I look regal AF, as they say. But yeah, like I said, I had a particularly rough weekend this past weekend trying to finish everything up because I really did try to have everything done by Friday. So for anybody who's curious about the bureaucracy and red tape that is involved in the National Institutes of Health, buckle up. Essentially what happens is you have specific due dates for grants. Those grant due dates are set in stone and cannot be changed unless one of those grant due dates lands on a weekend, at which point it then goes to the next Monday. If that Monday happens to be a holiday, though, then it reverts to the next workday, i.e. Tuesday. In this particular case, the grant due date was on Saturday. So that means, oh, it's Monday. Oh, wait, never mind, it's Tuesday because Monday's a holiday. So everybody in the stupid place, everybody in the lab, essentially, everybody where I work, figured this out, even though I didn't tell them because I wanted them to get it done early. Everybody figured it out and was like, oh, never mind, we can work on it later. And I was like, God dang it, I hate you all. Very frustrating. Oh, I have my money tree. I've been looking around for the money spot. You seem like a coke dealer. You're all terrible. Yes, massive piles of sugar make at least a little more sense. Yeah. Oh man, grants are like they are like the super epitome of grants are the super epitome of group projects because not only do you have to work within whatever the group is that you are part of, but you also need to get letters of support from other people. You need to make sure that whoever can legally sign off on the thing is available to sign off on it when it needs to happen, and all of this kind of stuff. It's absolutely ridiculous. It is a brutal process, and I hate it so much. And the worst part about all of it is, in my case at least, I have a really bad track record when it comes to grants. At one point, I wrote up a grant, and we ended up getting it, but it was just before I had planned to leave. So, like, the one time I was super successful was right before I was going to go somewhere else. But other than that, all of my other grants, So, hey, look, it's Alyssa. Hi, Alyssa. There's a typo in the title? Hang on. Let me see that. Oh, wait, it does. It says kind of the castle. There. King. I have fixed it. Thank you, Matter. Alright, so let's dive deeper into the bureaucracy that is the NIH and all of their bullcrap. So the way it works is your grant gets reviewed, or rather it gets sent to a section of people. It's everybody knows who these people are, but they don't know whose grants they're reading. Hang on, I need a drink. Oh, god dang, that's good lemonade. So essentially what happens is everybody on the study section, as it's called, is oh, sorry, I gotta talk to my homeboy here. I'm sorry I keep bashing you with a shovel, dude. No, remake. Iron Bee? No! I just want to keep it as my original one. Iron Bee. What does that even mean? So anyway, I know it's what you were calling me before. Okay, so all of the grant applications go to the study section, and each grant is assigned to 3 people. Those 3 people essentially read probably a dozen or more grants, and then they decide what will go to the rest of the group as a as like something that goes onto the table for discussion to be scored. The scoring system is a whole other mess. We won't talk about that today. But effectively, what will end up happening is basically the top 50% of what those people get, they will recommend that the table at large discusses. And so, okay, great. Like, that's what's going to go, and that's what's going to be scored. My problem is that the vast majority of grants that I have sent in have all come back as not discussed, which means that I don't even make it to the table. And it's really disheartening, honestly. I don't really like it. It's not fun, and it's a really brutal part of any scientific endeavor, because the problem is anybody can submit a grant. Honestly, it's really easy to do. The problem is actually getting the money, and like we're sitting here spending days and days and weeks trying to get all this stuff done on time, and we managed to do it, and it's like, yay, let's do it. And it's like, yeah, great, we got it in, but then you gotta wait 3 months to see if they even talked about it, much less whether or not you're gonna actually get the money. Drives me insane. Iron Brew? Can't say I've heard about it. Exactly, Alyssa. The waiting is the worst part. So one of the biggest issues with the NIH is that essentially after the due date of any particular grant, you are lucky if you're able to actually get the money 9 months later. Wait, waiting tastes like bubblegum, or Iron Brew tastes like bubblegum? I disagree that waiting tastes like bubblegum. Yeah. And part of the problem with doing grant writing stuff is that it is highly technical, and it's also very precise. Probably like 10 years ago-ish, the NIH changed their regulations for how grants are written and submitted, and they put a page limit on the number on your grant application. And the thing is that they put a limit at 12 pages. Now, you think about it, and you're like, oh, 12 pages, that's a lot. But when you're talking about highly technical writing that includes everything ranging from this is why I'm awesome to give me money because of this to I deserve this money because of this to my work is important because of this to here is the work that I'm going to do to here is why I am the one qualified to do this work and a lot of other stuff in between. 12 pages is not a lot of space to get all of that done. So it's kind of difficult. Here, I'm going to put this plant out because I found an adorable new little plant. I think I got this yesterday. It's a nice little plant. There you go, little plant. That's where you go. Mm-hmm. That's why I just moved numbers in an insurance company. Oh. Just send them my picture and so they can see how smart I am. Oh my god. One of the things that I'm not upset about it, but I'm exceedingly jealous of is there was a guy that I worked with when I was in school who I mean the guy is legitimately amazing. He's doing incredible work. And he's one of the recipients of what is colloquially referred to as the MacArthur Genius Grant. Shoot. I don't care. So for anybody who's unaware of what these are, it's essentially an annual prize that's given to people who have been nominated for doing excellent work in a whole bunch of different fields. It's not exactly like the Nobel Prizes, but it's sort of similar, just at a much lower level, where you just need a basic nomination of why this person is amazing, and they literally just give you $100,000, and that's it. They're just like, here you go, have a pile of money. You can do whatever you want with it. And I worked with a guy who had gotten one of them, and like so, oh god, I don't even know how to describe it, frankly. The way that this man speaks and the way that he was able to discuss my work with me and everything that he understood and how well he understood everything that we were doing, it was legitimately mind-boggling. Like, he truly deserved that grant. He is an amazing researcher. Absolutely. But yeah. Yeah, I wish that it was as simple as just like sending in a resume or something. Incidentally, as part of the grant application, you do have to send in a bio sketch, which includes resume information, as well as a specific section that is literally titled Contribution to Science. And it's one of those things where it makes you think like, okay, I have to try and make myself seem important right now, and that I've actually done something worthwhile. Crap! Matter, I hate you! Matter, you are by far the worst. You are just the worst. However, I will honor the pact of the purchase phrase and say, I like to cosmic prestige Squirrel Girl. Oh god, I feel like I'm going to vomit. Oh, it's terrible. I mean, I have to champion science on my streams, at least to an extent. Look at Doc with his little man. Stella, look, Alyssa, we're talking about you over here. Apparently, Stellville makes tasty potato salad and bubble tea. Do y'all like boba? Y'all do the boba thing? But yeah, it is just a brutal process, but at the same time, it is nice because it means that, at least to an extent, we can know that some things, at least, are going to better places or more valuable places, and people who know what they're doing. Part of the problem that was partially solved was that there was kind of like the boys club type of thing, where one of the issues is that, frankly, scientists never die. They never retire. You can do science when you can't do anything else. And so the problem is, because they never left the fields that they're working in, they were always submitting more applications for grants, and they got not only very, very good at it, but anybody who was doing any reviews of their grants would immediately be able to recognize their work and their writing style and all that kind of stuff. Look at that! Boosh! My homeboy on the second try! But yeah, it's and that's one of the biggest issues that that troubles early level academics, is that they really don't get an opportunity to get better grants because they simply are at the bottom of the totem pole. And to an extent, at least. Oh, okay. Hang on. We'll finish that thought in a little bit. Are you guys ready? Feel this, bro. Snakes don't have any limbs, but on the other hand, limbs don't have any snakes either, man. Consider yourself truth. I don't get it. What did it give me? Mermaid wall! Score! I don't think I have that. So finishing my thought is that it becomes very difficult for new investigators, as they're referred to compete with folks who have been doing science for literally decades. And it becomes a... Look, what is with my luck today? Holy crap! It's just very, very frustrating for new investigators, and it's part of why I really, really do not like being in academia. It is brutal, it's cutthroat, it's frustrating, and it is just all in all aggravating. It's one of the reasons why I'm trying, at least, to get out of most of it. Dang it, Tiny. Alright. The phrase that Tiny has purchased officially is anything with Squirrel Girl. I was tempted to say SQL, but she managed to get the R in there and the U. Yeah, seriously, I just had amazing luck on my diving. That was awesome. Actually, I could use some good luck for my fossils to see if I get the thing that I'm missing for my, for my house, for my plaza. But either way, so that has essentially been my life for the last, like, month and a half-ish. Month, closer to. It's been brutal. It has sucked absolutely horribly, because we submitted a grant. It went to a bad study group because people who rank higher than me made decisions that I feel were bad decisions. And because of that, we went to a bad study group that didn't really fit what we were trying to do. We ended up not getting discussed, and we got a rather scathing review paper, or several papers, a month before the new due date, saying, here's everything that you can fix to try this again. And so the entirety of the last month and a half has been me dedicating myself nearly full time to trying to fix this stupid grant. And it drives me insane because I spend all of my effort, all of my work, all of my time trying to make these things the best that I possibly can, and so often it just doesn't matter. But the fact is that we are talking about years worth of funding in a single grant. And I mean, we can't not try, essentially, and that's what sucks. But it's frustrating because I can't do some of the things that I really do enjoy doing. We had a little joke where one of the other people who's going to be working on the grant with us is going to be in charge of all of the lab work. And I was talking to him the other day, and he was just saying, he's like, oh yeah, you know, and when we get the lab started up, then you can just work in there and do all that. I was like, yes, please. He was like, wait, really? You like doing lab work? I was like, yes, I love lab work. Let me work in the lab. Because for years, I've just been doing computational work instead. But that's beside the point. Oh, that's right. We got a new Nook thing. And I have this Nook app. Incidentally, the Nook shopping app, after you purchase 100 things through the Nook shopping /ABD ATM shtick thing, that's when you get this little app. And it allows you to order stuff from anywhere on the island. So you don't have to go to that little thing. No! Moonrug! Cool! Gimme. Nice. Alright, Tiny's going to bed. Good night, Tiny. Be good. Like, I'm legit stoked about Moonrug right now. I'm down for that. You know, it's kind of funny to think about it because as soon as I see that, I just buy it without thinking. And honestly, in real life, that's what I want to get to. I want to get to a point where I can see something that I want. I can be like, that is super cool, and I just buy it. And I don't care because I know that I've got the money to spare. I know it doesn't matter. I know I'll be okay. I would truly love to be at a stage like that in my life. And unfortunately right now I'm not. But maybe at some point I will be. You seem a bit over the moon. Ha! But dumb Tish. I keep on wondering who my visitor is, and I keep forgetting that it's Flick. Because I keep passing by him. Oh! Incidentally, so I made a little area here for all of my rocks. The problem is it's going to take a very long time for all of them to show up. Essentially, I've destroyed all of the rocks, and they pop up randomly, literally at a random point somewhere on the island every day. So every day one rock shows up, and if it's not at one of these spots, I have to destroy it. So eventually, all of the rocks will show up here, so I'll have a nice sort of little space where all of my rocks are that I'll be able to go like pop, 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 and get all the stuff out of them. Using my science for evil. You can control where they show up to an extent by like planting stuff or putting items down and all that kind of thing. You can also put down like stone or brick path and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of different ways that you can control them. But for my time right now, at least, I'm not going to bother too much with it. But incidentally, I think I asked it earlier. I don't know if anybody answered though. Does anybody have fun plans for the week after this holiday for those of you who are in the U.S.? I think everybody's in the U.S. I honestly don't know. Like I said, for me personally, I'm planning on probably taking Wednesday off. Just because... Guys, Bluebear's using the little thing. It's so cute. Look at this. It's so cute. I always love it so much when the visitors use the little stuff that you put out. Not the visitors, but the villagers. That's the word. Oh, vacation! Yay! Aw, Blue Bear. Going to different stores on off hours. Okay, cool. That's fun. You have the entire week off, EA? That's awesome. Oh, Lord of the Rings, nice. Are you doing extended edition, director's cut? Like, how deep are you going, Lord of the Rings? Extended, classic. That's the only way to watch it. I think I had mentioned in a stream before that an old friend of mine, he would set aside a Sunday every year and just watch Lord of the Rings Extended Edition, just everything, just watch it all. And I was like, that sounds amazing. That is a wonderful idea, and I really want to do it. That is so cool. I really do have to rewatch those movies. You know, it's funny, that reminds me of a meme that I saw not too long ago, I think sometime last week, where it was talking about holy for holies. Oh, that is big. I say Dorado, you say Dorado. I was thinking about something and it seemed important at the time. Oh, right. I saw a meme where it showed like the Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, and then Game of Thrones. Where it was like Lord of the Rings and Star Wars, they've been around for years or decades in the case of Star Wars. Millions of fans and people still watching and rewatching them, especially now in quarantine. And then with like Game of Thrones, had millions of fans, ended like a year ago, but nobody cares anymore. And nobody is rewatching that trash pile, garbage, dumpster fire thing that it became. And it's just so bad. Well, rather, it's so sad, I should say. Because honestly, if Game of Thrones had ended... oh, sorry, spoiler alert. I'm so sorry. I don't know if anybody's watched it or anybody cares. But... So let me just say that, suffice everything, fans in general were very unhappy with the way that Game of Thrones ended. With how the last season went. And it essentially ruined the entire build-up of 8 seasons worth of at least solid content. It wasn't all great, it wasn't all amazing, but it was all pretty good on average. Incidentally, oh my god, I watched the first season of Mandalorian and it is amazing. I am like chomping at the bit for the next season of Mandalorian because holy free holies. It is amazing. I absolutely loved it. I really, really did. It was just a wonderful example of some great TV. Also, for anybody who hasn't seen it or is thinking about seeing it, the new Mulan movie, I watched that the other day as well, and I personally thought it was pretty good. I know that it's gotten mixed reviews, but from my perspective, I thought it was done well. I think that they did a great job with the casting. I think that they, at least to my very limited knowledge of the story, the original Ballad of Mulan, they did a at least semi-reasonable reconstruction of it. But I think a big problem with that particular movie is a lot of people go in watching it, making the assumption that it's going to be like the animated one. And I will say it is not. It's not like the animated one. They do use some of the same musical scores with instrumental musical scores. And of course it's awesome to hear and recognize, but they do make very significant changes to how some of the key aspects of the story work. I think they're good changes. I think that it makes sense as a movie. I think it's well done. I think it's not too over the top because I accept that it's meant to be kind of a fantastical, almost mythological character at this point. And I really liked it. I thought it was good. The choreography was a little bit dizzying, though. It wasn't... I mean... It wasn't as bad as some of the more recent action movies. So, like, with the, like, super heavy cuts and stuff like that. So, like, a lot of the latest James Bond movies and some of the Bourne movies. So, some of the Bourne movies were really good about it. What's up, now? Toads, give me a combat helmet, yo. But yeah, I really liked the movie. I thought it was very good. Personally. And now I have spoken. Now I have a combat helmet. Who is this? Kappa123. Hello and welcome to the stream. You missed a substantial rant about the National Institutes of Health and scientific funding. And also a little bit about Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. It's a shame to be you. But thanks for following. Awesome to have you on board. Fun fact about the little Yoshi thing. One of my recent purchases that I've gotten for old school games is an authentic Yoshi's Story N64 cartridge. So awesome. I didn't even have to clean the thing for it to work. And I was like, oh my god, it's Yoshi's Story. This is so cute. Love it. That's kind of been my my latest sort of binge when it comes to spending a little bit of my disposable income. Has been getting old game consoles. So I did a test run 2 weeks ago now, a week ago, something like that, where I was testing out my N64 with the capture card that I've got that I'm running the Switch off of now. But I got an RCA updater or an RCA upscaler, and most of the cartridges work great, which is awesome. I'm super excited about it. I am very excited to at some point do an Ocarina of Time run, which is going to be amazing. Potentially Majora's Mask as well, because those are my jam. But yeah, really good stuff. And more recently, I got a Sega Genesis, which is kind of funny because I never had a Sega Genesis. That was the one console I never really did. I had PlayStation, I had every Nintendo, every PlayStation. I never did Sega. I also never did Philips, to be fair, but I wouldn't mind getting a Philips CDI just for the sake of playing those gorgeous abominations that are the Legend of Zelda games on Philips CDI. 5 years ago. It was not. Glad things are going pretty cool, Kappa. That's pretty awesome. What are you up to this week? How did your weekend go? I did not have an Atari. No, that is a good point as well. I didn't do that. I gotta do more squats. Okay, hang on. Let me stand back up and wander around some more. I'm gonna go visit the rest of my folks. I'm gonna visit Bones. Bones is cool. Get as much fruit as possible. Do you mean in-game, in real life, both? Because, I mean, fruit is good to have regardless. Alright, here we go. Well, if you're missing something, I'd be happy to send it to you, or I can open my gates with a dodo code if you want to come and visit, because I've got all of the different fruits available. I've got all of the regular fruits, and then I've also got coconut trees as well. If you'd like, I can even give you one of my trees from the from my little what's it called, little nursery that I made as well. So Kappa over here, as part of my little garden, I've got these guys up here. This is my little nursery. So it's no longer a nursery because these things are all fully grown, but still, all the various things. You can't have all of my fruit, no. I need some too. Yeah, you only need a single piece of the fruit to plant it. It'll grow into the tree. You get 3. You can plant 3 more, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I've got all of those guys, and then I've got my orchard over here. Wait, more squats? So coconut's kind of weird because it's not considered a normal fruit in that it's not native to regular islands. So see, this is my regular orchard here where I've got 4 of each tree. I think it takes 4 days for a tree to grow. 3 or 4 days, something like that. Yeah, sure. Let me gather up some, and then I can open up with a dodo code, so you can come and grab it. I'll give you like 3 of each. I've lost count. I'm just gonna do extra. There we go. All right. You know what really sucks? So what really sucks is that Monday is leg day. So this morning I was doing a bunch of squats and lunges and crap. It was so bad. So here, let me get visitors real quick. We'll do online. So yeah, Kappa, if you want to come by, I'll go ahead and get a dodo code for you. That is true, you have been around for a long time. I should probably increase the cost of making me do squats. Alright. Alright, there you go. 1, 5, Romeo, 2, X-ray. That is 1, 5, Romeo, 2, X-ray. And Matter cheered. Thank you, Matter. So here, I'll just go ahead and drop the fruits out here. Awesome. So yeah, whenever you come by, you can just grab those, and then you'll have them. Like I said, there's 3 of each. You can plant them, you can sell them, whatever you want. I don't care. Spedworld. Worldwide Billionaire. I like that. It's a good name. Ah, man. And tomorrow is a work day. Tomorrow's gonna be a rough work day. It's gonna be so bad. Tomorrow is Tuesday, so we got team meeting as well. Spitlord! Look very much like a footballer. I mean that in the best way possible. Did I already water my plants? I did. I watered them. Ah, tambourine. I love it. There's the delight. That's what I needed. Seriously, you guys, this game is like so wholesome that it almost hurts. I'm just saying. It is amazeballs. Absolutely awesome. And that's one of the things that I really like about it. Danny does dance. I can dance. Wait, who else is coming to visit? It's the problem when you open your island to strangers, a bunch of weirdos start showing up. Royal Transformer, I love it. Very nice. Very apropos, Rev. Very apropos. Are there any Royal Transformers? Do Transformers have a monarchy? If they have a monarchy, who is the king or queen? They do? Cool. I mean, I would assume Optimus is the king, right? Look at that fantabulous mustache. That is pretty fantabulous. The tambourine is made of wind. I love all of the little instruments and stuff that you can get in the game. They're super cute. So yeah, that's the Kappa face. Like, Kappa is an icon thing. I don't really understand it personally. It's a Twitch thing. I don't get it. But yeah. Oh, Rev gonna water my plants. Thanks so much. Sadly, it's almost time for me to get going too. I still have to eat. I haven't had my dinner yet. I'm hungry. My rich alumni cosplay. So is that what you wear when you go back to your reunions at your alma mater? And you get to speak like this. And you get to say things like, oh yes, my investments are doing quite well. Yes, indeed. Oh. I bet that's what it is. That's my guess. Is Sir Snootington von Snootsville the Fourth, or whatever. You heard that your ex is still running Windows 7? Wait, what? Buffington the 14th? Okay, I apologize. My name is Buffy Buffington the 14th, and my daddy will have his way with you. Hey, quit shaking my trees. Somebody's shaking my trees. You quit shaking my trees. I gave you all the fruit. Yeah, I try not to judge people based off of their operating system. I am not like that. I don't roll that way. The building you work in, my name is on the side of it. Yeah, it's oh man. Actually, getting back to science, incidentally, that is one of the biggest and best things that you can do in science. So you can work in a building that has your name on it. Such as John Gurdon working at the Gurdon Institute. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of Microsoft and Windows in general and all that kind of stuff. It's one of those issues where it's basically come down to being a necessary evil in our world, where if you want to get stuff done, at some point you're going to run into Windows users. Doesn't matter how many Mac or Linux or whatever users you've got elsewhere, at some point there's a Windows user who's going to stop everything in its tracks. So, yeah. That's just what happens. And in part, that's why I like my my new work computer so much. Originally, we had Dells. I actually still have my Dell, right now at least. We were using XPS laptops, just really simple laptops. And they're fine, don't get me wrong. I've always been a decent fan of the XPS line. But, oh man, just the sheer audacity of all of the ridiculousness that you have to pay for and why everything is so bloated in its expense is just ridiculous. And so that's why for me, I built my own computer when I was doing this. Now, I will admit that I do have Windows installed on it, but I got it for like $10 or something because I got a student discount. So, we'll visit Dina. Hi, Dina. No, Dina. You're so cute. Primed Quintus. Primed Quintus, is that what we say? How does KOTH work? The only KOTH I'm familiar with is King of the Hill. I don't know if that's what you're referring to, and I kind of doubt it, because King of the Hill is one of several things. It is either a mode in a lot of FPS and third-person shooter games where you need to take over specific points and hold them, or it is the best anime in existence. I don't know of any other uses for KOTH. Kota. It's close to Knights of the Old Republic, but that's Coder. Yep. That old randos run around being like, what's up? But yeah, I would be happy to at least try to answer the question a little bit more coherently, but I honestly don't know exactly what you're referring to when you say KOTH. But that's what I mean, Matter, is that, like, King of the Hill is literally American anime for the Japanese. It's just it's like, they have the same conversations we do. To move your house, that is a good question, Kappa. I want to say it's 50,000 bells. It might be 20,000, but I honestly don't remember exactly what it is. It's somewhere around there. So the easiest way to make money is through the stock market, which is the turnip market. So what you do is on Sundays you can go out and you can purchase turnips, and then throughout the week you can sell them at Nook's Cranny, where the price that they buy them for will fluctuate. And so you can make upwards of like a 600% profit off of them. So like, see, right now my turnip prices are 82 bells, which is terrible. The lowest that you can buy them for is 90, and I think the highest I've seen them sell for is like 650 or somewhere around there. But that's the idea, is that you want to buy the turnips and then you can sell them off. Honestly, that's probably the best way to do it. You can also do fishing and bug catching, because you'll be able to get a lot of money that way relatively quickly. And it doesn't take a whole lot of investment or time. Well, it does take time because you gotta go fishing and stuff. But yeah, the stock market is the best way for you to go from like 0 to millions, like that type of thing. So yeah. Yeah, that's so. Rev makes a good point as well. Is the money trees? I had already done my money tree for today, but I can show you guys over here where I've got them all planted. It does take a little bit of an investment, but you do get more out of it. So if you can afford to plant 10,000 bells, then every day on your island you'll see a little golden spot. When you dig it up, then it'll have 1,000 bells in it. And you can bury as much as you want. But essentially, if you bury 10,000 bells, then you're guaranteed to get 3 bags of 10,000 bells like 4 days later. And so that's what all these are. Actually, it's 3 days later. But still. Yeah, 50,000, it will not take very long to get with fishing or bug catching or both. Fishing, honestly, is probably going to be your best bet if you need to do it quickly, simply because that's the fish are more valuable than most of the bugs. Yeah, if you got Flick or CJ, so this is Flick. So Flick will buy your bugs at 1.5 times the regular price, and then CJ buys your fish at 1.5 times their regular price. So you can turn a 15,000 bell fish into something that's like 22,000 bells, and that's just one fish. The best thing that you can do as far as the fishing is look for, typically at least, you want to look for larger silhouettes and try and catch those. Some of the smaller ones are worth a decent amount, but bigger ones are more likely to be worth more. It really does depend, though. The other thing you can do is you can go into the ocean and dig for stuff there, because all of the stuff you find in the ocean swimming around, you'll be able to sell for a decent amount as well. But yeah, honestly, it's not super difficult to make a decent pile of bells at any given time, which is kind of nice. But yeah, as far as sheer quantity, you can't beat the stock market. Buying and selling the turnips is definitely the best way to do it when it comes to getting the most amount of money at one time. Anything else, you'll be, as long as you're willing to just sort of sit there and put some work in, then you'll be able to get a bunch. So it's not too bad. But yeah. Alright, well, take care. I actually have to get going as well. Like I said, I've gotta go eat now. And you're very, very welcome for the fruit. The other thing too is that after your fruit trees grow, you'll be able to sell the fruit that they grow for $500 a piece if it's not your native fruit, whatever it is. So like for me, my native fruit is oranges. So any other fruit I sell sells for $500 a piece. So you can get a decent amount of money that way. But it takes time. So, and Emolga, thank you so much for the follow. But like I said, it is time for me to get going, unfortunately. So I hope that you guys had a good time today. I hope that you guys like me sort of wandering around and seeing my new castle set up and all that good stuff. I know it was fun to make. I'm happy with it. I think it looks cool and everything. But everybody have a good week. Have a safe week. Be well and happy and all that good stuff. On Saturday, I will be back again with all of you, ready to play some more Paper Mario Origami King. So hopefully that'll keep going at least reasonably well also. But yeah, you guys take care of yourselves. And yeah, the other thing too is that eventually I'm going to be doing my Ocarina of Time run through, which will take who knows how long. But either way, thank you guys so much. Take care, have a great week, and I will see you hopefully on Saturday.